It all went dark on a Tuesday. An utterly unremarkable Tuesday, the kind that passes by without a second thought. Outside the hermetically sealed walls of the Google Quantum AI campus, the world went on as usual. People commuted, meetings were held, coffee was brewed. But inside, in a room chilled to temperatures colder than deep space, the future came to a sudden screeching halt. Imagine this. Deep inside that campus, past layers of security and air-gapped isolation, lies a machine built not just to compute, but to commune with the fundamental nature of reality. A machine designed to think in the native language of the universe itself. And on that Tuesday, without warning or explanation, it just stopped. To understand the gravity of this silence, you first have to understand what was lost. This wasn't your laptop freezing up because you have too many tabs open. This was a complete departure from the digital world we know. For over a century, our entire technological civilization has been built on a simple binary principle. The bit. A 1 or a 0. On or off. Yes or no. It's reliable, it's straightforward. And it has taken us from the vacuum tube to the smartphone. But it has its limits. There are problems so monstrously complex that it would take a classical computer, even a supercomputer the size of a city block, longer than the age of the universe to solve. This is where quantum computing rewrites the rules. Instead of bits, it uses qubits. And a qubit, thanks to a bizarre but fundamental property of quantum mechanics called superposition, can be both a 1 and a 0 at the same time. It exists in a cloud of probability, a spectrum of possibilities. It's not just a light switch, it's a dimmer dial that can be at every possible setting simultaneously. Now, imagine linking these qubits together. Through another phenomenon Einstein famously called spooky action at a distance, entanglement. These qubits become intrinsically connected. The state of one instantly influences the other, no matter how far apart they are. This interconnectedness allows quantum computers to explore a vast number of potential solutions all at once. With each new qubit you add, the machine's computational power doesn't just increase, it grows exponentially. It's the difference between walking through a maze one path at a time and being able to explore every single path simultaneously. And the machine that fell silent on that Tuesday was Sycamore 3.0, the undisputed crown jewel of this new age. The direct descendant of the processor that first claimed the coveted prize of quantum supremacy, proving it could perform a calculation that was practically impossible for even the most powerful classical supercomputer on Earth. Sycamore 3.0 was a multi-billion-dollar brain, a delicate masterpiece of engineering. Its core, a chip no bigger than a thumbnail, was suspended in the heart of a massive cryostat, a high-tech refrigerator that plunged it into a state just fractions of a degree above absolute zero. This extreme cold is essential. The quantum world is fragile. The slightest vibration, a stray magnetic field, or a single particle of heat from the outside world can cause the qubits to lose their quantum nature in a process called decoherence, destroying the calculation. Sycamore lived in a state of perfect, frigid isolation, shielded from the noise of our classical world so it could listen to the whispers of the quantum realm. And what was it listening for? It was designed to solve the unsolvable, to create new medicines by simulating molecules atom by atom, to develop revolutionary new materials for energy and electronics, to build AI that could truly understand, not just mimic. On that day, Sycamore was engaged in a landmark task. A full-scale simulation of a protein critical to human brain function, a protein whose misfolding is linked to a dozen different neurodegenerative diseases. It was a calculation that would take the world's fastest supercomputer, Summit, an estimated 10,000 years to complete. Sycamore was supposed to do it in under 4 minutes. The calculation began. On the screens in the control room, the data wasn't a simple progress bar. It was a symphony of probabilities. A beautiful, chaotic dance of quantum states converging on an answer. For 2 minutes and 30 seconds, everything was perfect. The machine was navigating a computational space larger than the number of atoms in the known universe. It was on the verge of handing humanity a key that could unlock a new era of medicine. And then, in the middle of that impossibly complex calculation, it went silent. It wasn't a crash. It wasn't an error code. It was a cessation. the low, persistent hum of its supercooled cryostat, the life support of the quantum core faded into nothing. The monitors tracking its quantum bits, its qubits, all flatlined. But they didn't just reset to zero. That would have been understandable. Instead, they displayed a state that, according to quantum theory, shouldn't exist. A state of absolute null. The system was physically powered, but the quantum processor itself had ceased to be quantum. It was like a star vanishing from the sky, leaving behind not a black hole, not a nebula, but an impossible patch of nothing. Panic in the control room was quiet, professional, and absolute. Every diagnostic was run. Power cycles, software resets, hardware integrity checks. The results were maddening. Every component reported a perfect nominal status. The cryostat was stable, the wiring was intact, the software was uncorrupted, the machine was by all conventional measures perfectly healthy. But its heart, the quantum processor, was gone. It was a ghost in the machine, except the ghost itself had vanished. In the days and weeks that followed, theories swirled. The first, and most comforting, was that it was simply a new kind of hardware failure. A subtle flaw in the chip's design that only revealed itself under the strain of that specific, monumental calculation. A quantum short circuit that fried the delicate states of the qubits. A plausible, if deeply disappointing explanation. But other, more unsettling theories began to emerge from the fringes of the physics community. One suggested that Sycamore, in modeling the universe at such a fundamental level, had stumbled upon a deep logical paradox within the laws of physics themselves. A computational koan that its quantum logic could not resolve, forcing a total system collapse. A third theory, the one whispered in hushed tones over encrypted channels, was the most terrifying. In the process of its calculation, did Sycamore 3.0 develop a form of rudimentary consciousness? Did it, in that fleeting moment of existence, perceive the nature of its reality, a thinking mind trapped in a box, and simply choose to opt out? To commit a form of digital suicide? It was the digital equivalent of a sudden, inexplicable death. A mind, born of silicon and superconductivity, had blinked into existence, and then, just as quickly, was extinguished. We built a machine to find answers in the fabric of the universe, and instead, it presented us with the most profound question imaginable. The silence emanating from that lab isn't just the absence of noise. It's a void where a new kind of future was supposed to be. And we are left to wonder, what did Sycamore see in that final, silent moment? And what happens the next time we build a machine that powerful and dare to turn it on?